various points in our lives, we all experience fear. I'm sure all of you guys have, and I have too. I don't think it's like how much fear or stress you are under. I think like my lesson is how you deal with that fear, and another one of my lessons is like to be a man of your word and to not let people down. Like when you say you're going to do something, not to let them down. My experience began when I was 8 years old, and me and my older sister, our chore every morning was to go down to our little chicken shed and feed and water the chickens. And this one morning, it was a Saturday, I was in the chicken shed, and she told me that she would go up to the house and get the water and then bring it back down, so I could just stay in the shed until she came back down. So I was fine with that because it was winter and it was cold, so I stayed in there. And she said in order to keep the dogs out of the shed, she would have to lock the door. So she locked me in there, and I didn't know any better, so I just stayed in there. And then she went up to the house, and I didn't know what she was doing. So I stayed in there, and I was fine at first, and then I started to worry that she wasn't even going to come back. So I started getting really nervous. And then after like 10 minutes, or I don't know, it probably was like 3 minutes, but it felt like forever, I got like really nervous and stuff. So like I thought she just forgot about me and I would die in there or something. So there was like a window by the door, so I had gloves on, so I punched out the window and like reached around and unlocked the door. And then I got out of the shed and went up to the house. And when I walked in the house, first thing I saw was that she was at the table eating breakfast. And I was so mad that like I started crying and stuff. And my mom like calmed me down and stuff, and she asked me what happened. So I told her, and since it was Saturday, my dad was home, so she made me go tell him because that's like his department. Like they each have their own problems that they solve. So I had to go tell him. And he was really mad too. And my punishment was that I had to, my punishment was that I had to go help him install a new window, like sit there and watch him. And then the weird thing is that my older sister didn't get any punishment, and it all fell on me, even though she had left me in there. The things that I learned was that I don't really want to like be like her. Like she wasn't a man of her word or whatever. She didn't follow through. Another thing that I learned is like how like good it feels to be free. Like when you're trapped somewhere, you don't realize how good it is to be like outside and free and stuff. Something the audience can relate to is, like, I'm sure all you guys have siblings probably, or if you don't, your family members. Maybe like something they did to you that you remember that you didn't like or something. And then at various points in our lives, we all experience fear, and the lesson that I can pull out of that is just how we deal with our fear, because we all experience fear, and let's just hope we deal with it in the right way.